Hey everyone, welcome to indisch.windisch. Today we will be making kababs, but without using meat. That's right, we are going to make vegan SHAMI kababs that are incredibly delicious. These kababs are crunchy from the outside and have a melt in your mouth texture from the inside. You are definitely going to love them. Let's start with the prep. The very first part of the recipe is soaking our dal. Here I have taken 1/4 cup equivalent to 50 grams of chana dal, which you can easily find at Indian stores. I am washing the dal thoroughly and draining the excess water, then filling it up with some fresh water and letting it soak for at least 2 hours. You can soak it for longer or even overnight if you have time. After 2 hours of soaking, I drained the excess water and my dal looks like this. The soaking not only quickens the cooking process, but it also makes the dal easy to digest and lighter on the stomach. Next, I am peeling one big onion and dicing it in small pieces. Also peeling and chopping 2 big cloves of garlic. Smashing it with a knife makes it easier to peel. Also peeling here one 5 centimeter piece of ginger and chopping it into small pieces. That was all for the chopping part. Let's move on to the next step. Here I am taking a big pot and adding my soaked dal into it. Also adding my chopped onion, ginger and garlic. Half teaspoon of my homemade garam masala. Because homemade garam masala is stronger in flavor, I am only adding half teaspoon, but if you are using store-bought, you may need to adjust the quantity. Adding 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt and these soy chunks, which are available at Aldi. You could also use any other brand as well. Measuring 50 grams of soy chunks, that is about 1.5 cups. Giving the ingredients a good mix. Now I am adding 300 milliliters of water. You may need to adjust the quantity of water if you are using a different brand of soy chunks or if you have soaked your dal longer. But don't worry about it right now, we will work it out later. I have put my pot on stove, covering it with a lid and turning the heat on low. Now we will let it cook until our dal is tender. You may need to add some water midway if the mixture dries up. The dal will take anywhere between 40 minutes to 1 hour to cook. You can quicken up the cooking process by using a pressure cooker or instant pot. In that case, cook on high pressure for 20 to 25 minutes. After 40 minutes of cooking, this is how my mixture is looking. To check if the dal is tender enough, squish it between your finger and the spatula like this, and you should not be left with any solid particles. My mixture looks almost dry, except then this little liquid that I have. I will dry it off completely by cooking it a few more minutes on high heat without a lid. Okay, so now my mixture has completely dried. I will let it slightly cool down before putting it into my food processor. While my kebab mixture cools down, I am going to use this time to roughly chop some green coriander, which adds a great flavor and aroma to the kebabs. Also chopping 1 green chili for some spice. You can adjust the amount of chilies to suit your spice preference, or you can also skip it altogether. Next, I'm adding my kebab mixture, which has slightly cooled down now, into my food processor, along with 2 tablespoons of whole wheat flour and my chopped coriander and chili. Turning the food processor on. You'll have to scrape down the sides from time to time so there are no big chunks left. Keep going until a homogeneous mixture is formed. We don't want a very fine paste. This is the consistency that we are looking for. It should bind together nicely. If yours look too wet, you will have to add some more flour into it and mix again. Let's move on to shaping our kebabs now. I'm applying some oil onto my hands to prevent the kebabs from sticking. Shape the kebabs smoothly into discs that are about 6 to 7 centimeter in size. The mentioned quantity of ingredients will make about 6 to 7 kebabs. If you want to make more, you can double or triple up the quantity of all the ingredients. So my kebabs are formed nice and smooth. Now let's move on to frying them. I recommend using a non-stick pan for this purpose. I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of olive oil into my pan and letting it heat up on medium heat. Once the oil is hot, I am placing my kebabs into my pan. After about a minute of frying, I am moving the kebabs around so they get evenly fried from all sides. Once you see golden brown crust forming on the inside edges, it's time to flip the kebabs. Be very gentle at this stage because they are quite delicate and might break otherwise. Use a wide and flat spatula for this purpose. Fry the kebabs on the other side as well until they turn golden brown. Move them around from time to time for even frying. It will take about 2 to 3 minutes on each side on medium heat to fry the kebabs. Now the kebabs look done. I am taking them off heat and we are ready to serve them. If they look too delicate to handle at this point, give it a few minutes before taking them out from the pan. They firm up when they cool down slightly. My favorite way of having them is right out of the pan with some green chutney and sliced lemony onion. You can also use these kebabs to make sandwiches, burgers, rolls, or serve them as a side with your rice dishes. I hope you enjoyed watching today's recipe and give it a try real soon. I will see you next week with a brand new recipe. Until then, bye bye and take care.